Hello and good morning. My name is Amber. My art handle is Meraki Painter, and today I'm making another digital drawing. This digital drawing is for a prompt, the 90s, by the Art Room Discord. If you want to join the Art Room Discord, I will leave a link in the description. Just keep in mind you have to have at least one video up on YouTube because it is for YouTube artists. Along with this being a prompt, this drawing is also a Draw My Art Friends video for a series that I recently started on my channel. This will be episode 2. And this is for Stephanie. If you want to check out her art, it will be below in the description. Please check her out. She, of course, makes art since this is a Drawing My Art Friend. Now to talk about this piece, it is out of my comfort zone, my style. It is something different, but I wanted to change it up a little bit just for fun. And a big part of the reason why it's so different is because it is based around the 90s, which is kind of a weird thing for me to do at least. So the whole thing is a little bit different than what I usually do. But yes, at first I wasn't sure how to go about it exactly since it is 90s themed and it doesn't really fit my style. But I decided to just go ahead and do trends throughout the decades, and I was born in 98, so I don't exactly know what was trending in the 90s, so I did some research. So I decided to do things that were mainly popular and big in the 90s, but I also included some things that might have been before the 90s and tried to stay away from things that was created after the 90s. One of the things I gave her was a backpack, a mini backpack, and it is clear, but since it's clear, I had to put some stuff in it so it wasn't just empty. I decided to do a school themed bag if Stephanie went to school in the 90s or something. And so this is some of the stuff I incorporated in the piece that I found was on trend in the 90s according to Google. You can see I included some sunglasses on top of her head, and I have, of course, the tiny backpack that I mentioned. I have butterfly clips in her hair, candy necklace that also has some butterfly charms on it just to help match with the clip, and I thought it would look good. So in her hand you can see she's playing with a Super Nintendo. She's wearing overalls. She has a scrunchie on her arm. She has a little keychain, a little Trolls doll keychain, and some bubblegum tape, a Walkman, which is actually the same one I have, except mine is red. And yes, I still have a Walkman, don't judge. I tried to keep some cartoony styles in my head for when I was drawing this piece, which is actually the new style that I've been trying to pick up. So that worked out pretty good for me practicing this style. And in honor of the cartoons that inspired me for this piece, I included some stickers on her bag, which is Sailor Moon stickers, Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls, and Alice from Alice in Wonderland, which I thought she fit the style that I've been doing on this piece so far. I tried to keep a more pastel vibe going, which I think in the end made her skin super pale, so sorry about that. To make your skin super pale, but I couldn't really change it by the time I noticed how it looked with all the other colors because I had already merged all my layers together. So when I was coloring in her hair, I accidentally filled in part of the outline that's on the edge, and it made it look fuzzy. I'll show you what I mean. But basically, with the auto paint tool, I accidentally filled in the outer layer of the outline, which since it was black, I didn't exactly notice it at first. But I had to go back in and erase stuff off that layer. Thankfully it was on a separate layer, then go through and fix all the colors. So that's why partway through the overalls got a little messed up and I had to redo the base colors of that. But yeah, it just made it look super blurry and not crisp, clean lines, so I had to go back and fix that. And some of the things I did trace because I'm doing this just as a prompt and it's not like I'm trying to sell it or anything. And then on the other hand, I was trying to finish this pretty quickly considering I was running out of time for the deadline that I gave myself to finish this, which I'll kind of explain and go over next week in my next video. But that's why you may see me trace over some of the stickers and the Walkman. I traced the outline of that. You can see some of the bubblegum tape is coming out of her bag, and this was a stylistic choice. Of course, this would be really weird if her bubblegum was just shooting out of her bag like that, but I thought it would add and fill something in that space because it was just too empty, to help balance out the piece too, since I also have the wire going off screen for the Super Nintendo. I finally learned how to do a reference layer on Procreate, which basically allows me to just fill in the outline versus trying to go in and color inside the lines, which I'm not always that good at anyways, so that really helped. I just set my outline layer on reference, so then that way all the layers beneath it will follow through and obey by the lines in that layer, and I can just take the paint drop tool and drop colors into that certain section that I want it to go in. All in all, this was a very fun piece to do because it was so different. I don't think I'm gonna continue doing characters like this per se. I might do a few, but I'm going to keep it mainly to my style that I've been doing, that you know me to do. But it was fun for the time being, and don't forget to check out my friend, and don't forget to check out the Discord if you'd like to, and also their social medias can be found on Instagram and Twitter with the same handle, the Art Room Discord. I've also created a new playlist for all my digital art, and I also have a separate one for my watercolor art, but this will be added to my digital art playlist. You can check that out on my channel, as well as this video being added to my Drawing My Art Friends playlist, which I think is a good opportunity for you to find out new artists and support them online, and maybe you can even be their friends too. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, bye.